Good morning. We are here this morning with Ben Crowley with Ridgeline Inspections. Good morning, Ben. How are you?
I'm good, Cora. How are you?
Good. Okay, Ben and I have known each other for a while now, and I have 7 questions for Ben. Ben, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, because if you fail, that chair's going to tip over backwards and boom.
Right down the hole.
Right down. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, what is the most typical thing you see on a regular basis that needs repair in a home?
2 of the big ones are, one of them is called an anti-tip device, and that is a little metal bracket that screws to the floor or the wall that keeps your stove from tipping over if a child were to stand on an open oven door. When you buy a new range, they tend to come with them.
Isn't it just kind of a little square bracket like that?
About that big, bell-shaped.
If I can't find the one that came with my range, where do I get one?
Lowe's and Home Depot have universals.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And they're relatively inexpensive,
Okay.
less than $30.
Okay, well that's interesting. Okay, where do you start a home inspection? I mean, where do you typically start? Inside, outside, what room?
Yeah, so where I start is in the kitchen. So the reason I do that is it's the central part of the home, and usually there's something in there that needs to be repaired or maintained, right? So it's a good spot to start and talk about what a deficiency is, and that it's not necessarily a big deal or a complicated fix, even if it is like a health and safety concern, like the anti-tip device that we talked about, right? 2 or 3 screws, done, fixed, not a big deal. So start there, it's a good place to start, and yeah, we go from there.
So you kind of help your customer feel comfortable about when they see health and safety. It's not, oh my gosh, my house is going to fall apart. It's you explain what it is and how they fix it.
Exactly. So
okay.
The reason something is a health and safety concern is that means if it goes bad, it's a big deal. So like a light socket cover that's missing, right? Like that is a simple fix. It's not expensive, but if it's not maintained or corrected, it can be a big deal.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Do you prefer to have the buyer present when you do a home inspection?
Yes, 100%. It is an amazing chance for me to teach the buyers about their home. There's always questions that come up that they haven't thought about, and I haven't thought about, right? They're just walking through the home like, hey, why is that like that? So also lets me do a more in-depth like maintenance talk and show them more about their home that you just can't do if somebody's not there, right? So yes, 100%. I love having buyers there.
Do you show them how to like change their furnace filters and things like that?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
I show them how to do pretty routine maintenance and give recommendations on timelines to get maintenance done that you need to hire a professional.
Oh, okay. Okay, good to know. What type of license and education is required to be a home inspector?
So the only licensing that is required is a national exam. So that is, yeah. So it is a 600 question test. It's a sealed room test that you have to take, and you're not allowed to leave the room until you're done. So it's a pretty grueling test to get done. So that is the one requirement for that here in the state of Alaska. Some other states have some other stuff, but there are a lot of continuing education and recommended schoolings that are done. So there are 2 main groups of home inspectors, like their affiliates and education schools. One of them is ASHI and the other one is InterNACHI. So I am part of
Are those acronyms? Or did somebody just come up with a weird name?
So I don't know what the ASHI name is, but InterNACHI is International Association of Certified Home Inspectors.
Okay, okay.
So,
that makes more sense.
It does, right? So they're based in Boulder, Colorado, and with them, to be part of their school, you have to pass their education system, right? So that is 140 hours of online training and an exiting exam. So that's what I did. So it's nice. It was online. We could do it at home, so we could do that. So yeah, there's that. And then you're required by the state and by the school of inspectors that you're a part of to continue 24 hours of continuing education every 2 years. So got to keep up on what we're doing, stay current on it, and just, yeah. And the state of Alaska does a really good job of making sure that it is not just random continuing education, but something that actually pertains to home inspection. So it has to be a certified course with the state of Alaska. So they're pretty good courses.
Like a general contractor, do you have to renew your license every 2 years?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's good to know. What are some of the strangest things you've seen in a home inspection?
So, finding fungus is always like mushrooms growing out of things. That's always one of the super strange things. And then like just the way that things used to be decorated, right? So I was doing an old farmhouse in Palmer that was from the 50s, and the house was remodeled in like 71 or whatever, right? And it still had the shag carpet, the white shag, across the floors, up the walls, across the ceiling.
Oh.
Like a super dark cocoa brown bathroom, everything, right? So not necessarily bad, strange, but different. So those are the kind of things I like to see. I don't see a lot of like really gross things or anything like that. There's always like the interesting like home built cabins where you get into crawl space and you're like, oh, they're using a floor jack to hold up part of the floor, literally. So there's that kind of stuff too. But like usually like the mushrooms and stuff that are growing in crawl spaces are usually like the most unique things that we get to see.
Okay, well, yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do sellers or contractors ever call you and ask you how to fix something once they've read your home inspection?
They do. So, and I'm always open to those phone calls. I do not tell you how to fix something. What I will tell you is what it should look like when it's done. And the main reason for that is that I am not a professional in every industry, right? So if I say this is how it has to be fixed, that may not be the best way, the most cost-effective or most efficient way to do that. But if I say, hey, it needs to look like this when it's done, that lets everybody find the best possible way to get to the end goal. And I'm always open for those phone calls.
Well, I do know, Ben, that you have been very open with contractors, and when they have questions of maybe they don't quite understand the wording or something, you've been very clear in explaining it to them. I've had really good reviews from you on you about
Awesome.
that. Okay. How long does it typically take to do a home inspection?
So the average home takes between 2 and 3 hours, and that's like a 2,000-ish square foot home.
Okay.
So if you're going to come to one, plan on 3 hours. It'll probably be less than that. If you're selling the home, just plan on being away for like 3 or so hours. And yeah, that's a pretty typical home inspection.
Okay. Okay, so you have earned a bonus question, my friend.
Ooh, what do we got?
Oh, yeah, this is exciting. Okay, so I have noticed, I don't typically go to the home inspection because I have a new construction background. My husband is a general contractor, or he's retired now, but so for me to go to a home inspection, I tend to look at things and go, oh, that's no big deal. You just fix it like this, and then you're done. Because I'm married to that guy that can just fix whatever needs to be done. So my mouth gets me in trouble. So I introduce you to the client, and then I step back. But something that I've noticed is, like my younger clients, they want to bring their dad or their father-in-law.
Yeah.
Typically what I say is the home inspector has a way that they do it. Please don't run ahead of them. Do you find it difficult when they have brought someone else? Or do you have a system for managing that?
I totally have a system.
Oh,
so the reason somebody's dad, uncle, brother, cousin wants to be there is they want to make sure that the person that's buying the home is well taken care of, right? So if I can build a relationship with that contractor or handyman that came with them in a way that they trust that I am doing a good job at talking about the home and building a rapport that they can understand, that relationship goes way better, because then everybody's happy. The buyers get a clear report. Their family members are seeing that, hey, they did make a good choice in hiring the home inspector. So a lot of that is just talking about them, getting a bead on what their knowledge background is, and then talking with them about that, and then showing them things about the home, and making it a very big point not to ever belittle their knowledge base, right? So compliment them on what they know, and when you point out something that they may not know, doing it in a way that it doesn't demean them in any way, right?
That's respectful.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So, yeah. And sometimes it is a little bit of a hurdle to get over, I'm not going to lie. But, I haven't had an inspection yet that by the time the end of it happened that I was not on good terms with that relative that came to make sure everybody was taken care of.
Good.
So, Yeah, I mean, it is definitely one of those interesting things.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ben.
Of course.
And we will get this online right away. We'll have Ben's information down here at the bottom. If you are thinking of buying or selling, Ben would be a good choice for you. Ben can help you if you're buying a house, but he can also help you if you're selling with a pre-inspection. And talk to me more about pre-inspections. They're good things. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Cora.